I'm here to let you know why Jeffrey Dahmer should not be convicted of murder. He has a very extensive back childhood of being picked on by other boys. He was caught, between a demanding father and an emotionally troubled mother who were at war with each other. The defendant was insane at the time he committed each of the 15 murders that he's charged with. He's found to be indifferent to the feelings of others, self-centered, sexual sadist, and was obsessed with the fantasy of having power over others. I quote my client as him saying, "I often fantasized that I was always able to get the things I wanted, sex, power, and money. I made my fantasies more powerful than real life." At an early childhood, his mother was a drug abuser throughout her pregnancy and his childhood. She continued to abuse him in great quantities. It's unclear that if his mother breastfed or not, but if she did, it could have passed through her breast milk onto him. The risk factor of this was drug abuse is a critical factor for the healthy development of a young child, especially in the absence of the mitigating influence of other care providers that may have been for him. All documents and references to Mrs. Dahmer indicated that she felt isolated, alone, and condemned to be alone with her child. His early childhood was very extreme. He was constantly seeing his parents at each other's throat and arguing. His father admitted that he felt condemned to spending all her days at home. By his own admission, Mr. Dahmer grew increasingly withdrawn and uncommunicative, beginning at around age 10, showing little interest in any hobbies or social interactions. He biked around his neighborhood looking for dead animals, which he dissected at home or close to his home. Playing with dead animals, being in isolation, withdrawn, depressed. These are things that affected him later in life. He was fundamentally an outcast at his school. Mr. Dahmer began drinking heavily on a daily basis. He was a morbid alcoholic. By the end of high school, he continued his extreme alcoholism all the way up until he was adult and until in prison. He was even discharged from the Army because of his constant use of alcohol. This is a big emergence in the violent and sexualized behaviors and obsessions that Mr. Dahmer possesses. Like I said, he fantasized about having power over others, and that these fantasies that he had became more powerful in his mind than in real life. So in his mind, what he did to these children was normal to him. It didn't seem anything out of the ordinary. In this case, his insanity plea goes to show why that he killed these kids and didn't think anything of it. In light of these contexts, I strongly urge you to let my client go on an insanity plea.